Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng pera. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan.
All caps, mga Atenista! It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Level up!
All caps, mga kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid, kabarkada, mga Katipuneros. It's time to level up with your host, multi-awarded multimedia guru Noel Ferrer here on All Caps, Ateneo Level Up.
Paulit-ulit kang nagplano.
Okay. All good, all good.
Ulit-ulit, lagi din naman ang bago.
Mamamayang na bisita.
Huwag na kayang kasi huwag na
Our
wag na
formers,
kayang
our educators, the shapers of our minds and souls, and we're really grateful that they're all together because in this pandemic, we only have each other to depend on. As we talk about quarantine concerns and post-lockdown scenarios in the universities. So, let's ask our resource persons personally muna, how are they coping with our quarantine life? Day 34 na po, kumusta po kayo? Ma'am Elena Pernia, Ma'am Nenny, hello? She's a VP for Public Affairs of the University of the Philippines. Ma'am Nenny, kumusta po? How are you coping with your quarantine life?
Well, we are really locked down in our homes. We assume that being away from our offices, there will be less work to do, but that's not true. Because
More, actually.
now it's like 24/7. It used to be when you leave your office, even though you work until 6, 7 p.m., at least when you come home, you have a respite. Ngayon, wala eh. So,
Ganun pala sa bahay. But you have all the time naman pag sinasabi nila, pero iba rin, no? Iba rin pagka-compartmentalize ang lahat ng concerns.
talaga. Ngayon, hindi. Parang everything is put together. So, it's really more exhausting to be now working from home under these.
That's nice. We'll talk about that later. And then we also have Brother Bernie Oka. Brother Bernie, thank you very much. The Chancellor of the De La Salle University. Brother, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Kumusta naman po dyan sa La Salle? How are you holding on to this quarantine life?
Lockdown, the brothers live here on campus. It's very peaceful outside. The traffic is very, very light.
Yes.
We hear the LRT, so at least it's very quiet. The birds are singing outside in Taft now.
And you're forced to be healthy, brother.
Yeah, we're getting much healthy. I mean, we have time to exercise, we have time to pray, but at the same time, as Elena was saying, we're also very, very busy. I mean, it's stopping fires here and there, but also preparing for the future. So it's really very enervating, but at the same time, I find it exciting.
That's true. Thank you, brother. We'll ask more questions later. And we also have Dr. Cheryl Peralta. Ayan, natatakot pa siya nung una, pero, well, she's the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of UST. But ma'am, kayo yata pinaka-bagets dito. Kumusta?
Hello po. Good afternoon.
Kumusta kayo
Hi,
sa
good afternoon.
life ninyo?
Okay naman po. Actually, I'm in Silang Cavite right now. So, I'm not in Manila. But I guess okay naman po in campus. Wala din naman pong masyadong nagpupunta doon except for the volunteers po who are working on some of our initiatives for the university.
Okay, so peaceful then. And now, ito na. Yung meeting after meeting, ang aking co-teacher sa English Department dati pa, ang VP for Loyola School sa Ateneo de Manila University, Dr. Marlu Vilches, kumusta ang meeting? Kasi meeting, mas mahirap yata nga talaga, sabi ni Ma'am Nenny na maraming trabaho ngayong naka-lockdown tayo, Marlu.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, everybody. You know, at the beginning of the lockdown, I said to myself, I should make a routine for myself. Because when you lose your routine, you don't know what to do. And there are so many things to do, and then you lose your routine. I have my own routine early in the morning. I have actually, during the lockdown, it has given me more opportunity to pray. I do meditation twice a day, and then I do my prayers. By the time I rise in the morning, I do my prayers. And then by around 8 o'clock, I am in my rubber shoes, and I go walking within the village. And I continue to do my rosary in the village, at least to spread some good vibes around the area. And then around 30 minutes, and then I come back, then I have breakfast, and I get ready, and then I go, of course, go to the shower and all the rest of it, and then I get ready for my meetings. Because
ang mga meetings ngayon, Marlo, walang deadline. Di ba pag work day, 8 to 5 or 9 to 6,
yes.
Diba?
Yes. Well, meetings naman, mayroon din naman schedules, but also sometimes the meetings can go for hours, especially kung medyo complex yung matter. Like for example, before writing out a memo, the meetings are really long.
Very long.
I think some rest as well. I think it's important to take a breather, move about, and then do online. I follow online masses in the afternoon. I think that's at the end of the day. And then I do a bit of contacting people that I know, family and friends, to find out.
May love life pa, Marlo? Di ba naman?
Sorry?
May love life pa ba?
Siyempre may love life. Siyempre, sabi ni Pope Francis, hope and courage. So kasama yan.
Ay, ang saya niyan mamaya. But then, since you're all policy makers, no? And you're involved in the decision making ng mga bawat schools, no? Gaano po kasinsin o kadugo o karigorous at tedious yung naging pag-uusap at pagdedesisyon nyo dun sa paggawa ng COVID measures per campus? So let's tackle per campus yung munang process po para ipaintindi natin sa mga tao na hindi ganun kadali. So brother, kayo na po muna. Go.
So, pag mga decisions for academics, it starts with chairs meeting with the faculty, and then they make their recommendations. Then the chairs meet with the dean, and then they make their recommendations. Then it brings it up to the academics council.
My God.
You have a lot of the discussion, and then they make the policy decisions. And there's a lot of meetings, but it's not only the meeting, but how to draft the decision.
That's true.
Time that people have to refine the document, because that's going to be a public document. So that's very, very important. So meetings to prepare for decisions. Then that goes to the Chancellor's Council and then eventually to the President's Council. We have the Vice Chancellor for Administration meetings. You have the meetings of the Vice Chancellor for Research. Then you have the Dean of Student Affairs meeting with the students. That's very, very important. So
that's true. The consultation, yes.
Side. So that's a continuous process that we're doing. So that, and then when we have the eventual meetings, that's when we come out with the decisions.
So brother, gaano pa kayo katagal naghanda para dun sa pag-uusap tungkol dito? When did you start those talks about the COVID measures?
When the announcement last March 9 by Mayor Isko saying that suspended ang classes, immediately we had to already go first. We knew we will have to go online. So even in the past, when there's suspension of classes, ang sinasabi namin, pag walang suspended ang classes, may klase pa rin tayo. We will go online.
You were clear on that.
Yes, because we had the experience in the Southeast Asian Games.
Oo nga, pinasara kayo, no?
So what happened was, we will have classes still. We will not going to have makeup classes, but then the classes will be online. So more or less, kung lumabas na yung ni Mayor Isko, ready na kami dun sa at least online.
That's good.
But we were not aware that it was going to take that long.
Yeah.
Another thing we need to prepare was the finances. So we had to
true.
So that salaries are going to come out on time, as well as how we can help faculty and staff in their financial needs. So we have to study all of the financials and then how we're going to make the decision, especially for our workers who are no work, no pay.
That's
so we're very concerned about those personnel also. So we really had to study the financial situation of the university. Then when it started to get already the emergency 2 weeks and then eventually 1 month, then we started to get already surveys from faculty, surveys from students, getting opinions. And then we had our first meeting regarding how we're going to tackle the COVID.
Ibig sabihin, hindi ganon kadali. Hindi ganon, di ba? Ka-instant, di ba?
Hindi. Pero mabuti na lang, we have already the learning management system in place. So we've been doing that for the past 2 years. And then now, lalo pang na-push because now of this situation where we are.
Very good, very good. Let's hear from UP, Ma'am Nenny. Kumusta naman po kayo?
You mean in the plan?
The process.
Okay, the process. No? So actually, we began discussing this as early as yung first suspension of classes. I think that was around March 10. No? So just prior to that, our executive committee, we met, and the discussion was if we're going to go, it's going to be towards a lockdown. Because at that time, it was yung before
community quarantine.
Yeah, so we were anticipating that it's going to go towards that one. Mm-hmm. So like LaSalle and like Ateneo and UST, we considered na online. No, after all, meron naman kaming UP Open University, which is distance education.
Yeah.
But the thing is, our campuses, our CUs are differentially inclined towards that sort of teaching. But nonetheless, as a system, the executive committee really thought about what is the most. What's the quickest way to get everybody online? So that was around March 9, 10. And we proceeded with that one. But at the same time, because we are larger than LaSalle.
You're covering not only Lima, no?
Yeah, we have 17 campuses, 17 campuses throughout the Philippines.
Yes.
No? We have more than 5,000 faculty members. I think our student population runs, and my recollection of the undergraduate is about 20,000 plus. So you can imagine that. And then we have so many degree granting units. No? So, like LaSalle, like Ateneo, and like UST, our process also considers from the lowest level, from faculty, department, to college, to CU, and then there's a university council, and it's brought up to that level.
And you have consultations with students also, no?
And we have consultations with students, and also and other stakeholders. It's not just the students. No, our board of regents, for example, reflects the different constituents that we have. We have the students, of course. We have our faculty. We have faculty regent. We have student regent. We have an admin regent. We have the alumni regent. And these are and they represent important sectors. I'm sorry, meron po kaming admin staff. So these are our many many stakeholders, who occupy positions in our highest policy making body. But like what brother explained, the process of this goes from sa amin both ways. Nag-anticipate ang system at the same time that the departments were also considering that. And then we have an academic advisory council, which is comprised of the academic vice chancellors of each CU, then headed by our vice president for academic affairs, together with the other assistant vice presidents. They kept on meeting. And these meetings were doon sa yung mahabaang meeting talaga, no, to consider different options and the discussions, the compromises, the negotiations to come up with something that will be acceptable to all. Then that is brought up to the EXICOM, then to the PAC, and then finally to the Board of Regents.
Until kahapon po. Kasi we won't discuss that. So, kahapon lang po naglabas ng desisyon na pag-usapan ng Board of Regents, yung desisyon ng UP.
Yes, yes.
So, yun po yung proseso. So, dapat intindihin ng mga tao na hindi madali. Grabing debate, narinig ko po. So, hanggang sa, you're able to weigh everything and then does your decision na nilabas kahapon. But until now, sabi niyo po, kailangan pang i-draft yung isang nuance na memo para po dyan.
Hindi, fina-finalize na. Kasi base doon sa diskusyon kahapon, no, merong mga, siyempre Board of Regents sila, hindi naman nila tatanggapin ng buo yung kung ano man ang naahin sa kanila. Mahabang deliberasyon yun, kaya naiba pa rin doon sa rekomendasyon. So so yung pinaka-final na yun ang hinihintay pa rin. Yung final na lang.
Pag-usapan po natin yung final na pag-usapan ng UP maya-maya. Pagpunta naman tayo sa Espanya, sa University sa Espanya. Ma'am Cheryl, kumusta naman po yung proseso niyo sa UST bago po kayo napunta dyan sa Cavite ngayon?
Yes, we've been monitoring kasi we have been monitoring the COVID situation since it came out, I think, around late January. We've already been releasing advisories because of the suspensions we had to do for off-campus activities, in-campus activities. And as we continue to monitor the situation, we were actually able to anticipate that it might happen that there will be a suspension of classes. And so it so happened that Monday, that's March 9, that was also the first time that we deployed the continuity plan for teaching and learning, just to make sure that once there is a suspension of class, everyone knows what will be done. So we deployed that. Tama-tama naman nung hapon, nag-suspend talaga ng classes si Mayor Isko. No? So usually the procedure for policy making, really, well, there are consultations from the various units. They look at, the deans are the ones who are in charge of looking at the needs of their particular unit. We have a very diverse campus. We have basic education to graduate school. So it's really quite a challenge taking care of the needs of 40,000 students, 2,200 faculty members, and more than 500 support staff. We had to take into consideration in coming up with a university policy. We had to take into consideration the differences in the government regulations also for each of these programs. So we had to draft the policies in a way that will capture everyone and yet allow everyone some time, some space to navigate in order to implement it at their level. So it's actually the academic senate that makes decisions on academic policies. Yes, the academic senate is headed by right now by acting rector Reverend Father Richard Ang OP. He has been on top of things the whole time. So everyone goes through Father Ang for approval, and I remember even when there was suspension of classes already during that week, March 9 to I think that was March 13, the Academic Senate had to convene on a Friday just to discuss key points that we needed to look into.
Pero online,
similar to
online.
Yes, started online the day after, so March 10. So, but we realized that when the government, because from March 10, that's a Tuesday, up to about Thursday, online classes were really running. I guess because the students were still in their various dormitories, and so they had adequate internet access. And then when it was announced that there will be community quarantine, a lot of those who are staying in dormitories, apartments, because those are temporary residences, they had to move out and go home to their provinces. So that's when internet connectivity became a problem for quite a number of students and even faculty for some of them. So that's why even if we had the continuity plan ready even before suspension of classes in Manila, I think as of now we've revised it 4 times already because we've had so we had to continuously have monitoring procedures, consultations also, what were the key points of concern, and we had to revise the plan as well as the strategies in order to cater to.
We'll talk about the plans in a while. Marlo, kumusta naman sa Ateneo? Alam ko madugo yung discussion niya din dyan.
Yeah, I was just listening to the 3 sharing from different universities. I was telling myself how much I appreciate the context, because actually Ateneo de Manila is the smallest in terms of number of students.
Yes.
Complex for us, how much more complex it would have been for like UP with so
That's true.
And so on. I really appreciate the context where they are.
That's true.
In Ateneo, for example, I can speak, there are 3 units, the basic education, and then 2 of us at the tertiary, professional schools and Loyola schools. I can only speak about the Loyola schools, and we're only 9,000 students or 9 to 10,000 students in the Loyola schools.
Okay.
Maybe just to say in terms of the process that we've been through, like the other universities, we've been listening to news, trying to analyze what's going to happen to this situation. And so that even before government announced anything, we already made a decision that we were going to do. For example, we called it the dry run, contingency dry run.
That's it.
Time around early March. Okay. So it was funny because while Father Jet was finalizing the memo, suddenly there was this announcement. So our actually was like beyond the date when the announcement was, but we tried to do that. In terms of process, there's a president's council, which is composed of the different vice presidents.
Okay.
So from that perspective, and there's also a VP's council, for example. Each of the units has a VP, so there's a council, and that's where I am when this is where the deans are, the associate deans, and so on and so forth. And now there's an expanded one because we include the registrar, we include the
Yeah.
admission and aid.
The non-teaching staff.
These are the meetings that go for hours, because
That's true.
you have to listen to the different contexts. So we set the sort of big scenario, and then the deans cascade with their own deans council meetings. The deans see, for example, whether the big scenario works or not, does not work, and what sort of things are happening there. So before a memo comes out, it's like work
Yeah, pinagdadaanan.
of that sort. And then also, because we have an associate dean for student formation, he's also in touch with the Sanggunian, and the Sanggunian has the voice of the students, and so forth. So that at the beginning, when we were going for these online learning classes, we realized from the student survey that 12% of our students did not have
Computer.
or no connectivity at all.
Yeah.
Especially those, because it's okay on campus, we have a lot of connectivity, but when they're outside in their own places,
That's true.
not only the lack of connectivity, it's also the burden of this societal situation,
That's true.
so they cannot concentrate on what they're supposed to do. So that's why we decided not to have online learning classes as they're supposed to be, but we had to ask our teachers to upload online material, give them support, etc., etc. But assessment, no grading online. And I think that was well appreciated because we didn't want students to be too anxious, about it. So
We'll talk about the online preparedness of our campuses later, Marlu, no? Pero
Okay.
let's go into the specifics now for school, no? So yung naging policy. So pero di ba sabi natin palagi, no? Ang pamamalakad natin ng bahay natin, kasama rin yung school, dapat consistent dun sa kaayusan na gusto natin sa lipunan. So, ganun talaga yung paggawa natin ng mga decision. So first, unang-una, yung no classroom teaching, yung no classroom instruction, pero online teaching. Kumusta yung response ng bawat university doon? Start with you, Marlu. Ano yung response una ng online? Doon nga, tama nga, you were going to that already, no? Doon sa no classroom teaching and then you were shifting to online. Your concerns were yun nga, connectivity,
yes.
computers, and then eventually the situation, no, of the person.
Yeah, that's right. But in terms of excitement, I think the students were excited. But we didn't want to leave other students behind, Who had connectivity also said yes to not really doing this assessment online because they were very concerned about their classmates.
That's true. What yung faculty ba handa, Marlu?
Faculty, yes, of course. A lot of faculty members have already been doing online classes before this. But of course, there are others who are also challenged, And there are other faculty members whose connectivity at home is not sufficient. So, take that into consideration.
That's true. Ma'am Nenny, kayo po, kumusta yung online learning o online teaching ninyo dun sa UP?
As I said, one of our CUs is the Open University. So talagang doon, it's online.
It's set.
But yeah, it's there are, as I said, differential abilities, of and accesses of our faculty and students to the internet. But apart from that, it's the nature of our courses. Not all courses lend themselves to online. Of course, we have in my own college. My college is the College of Mass Communication. We have a lot of production courses there. Whereas it will. I'm not saying it's impossible, but there will be difficulties. But then you have fine arts. Same thing. Everybody have access to the studio equipment that are needed, and then we go into medicine.
Yeah.
we go into agriculture, even anthropology, no? And throughout the entire system, may mga the range of our courses are so wide na hindi talaga hindi yung some of them hindi pa pwede talaga sa online. What we've been talking about for several years now is flexible education. Yung flexible makes use not just of online but different platforms.
Okay.
No? And these different platforms will include the lower tech to the high tech.
Okay.
Yeah, and even now, no, in some of our campuses, nag-distribute ng learning packages nila na para hindi na-printed, naka-USB.
Okay.
No? I-distribute yun sa mga estudyante. Kasi baka wala.
Paano? Pero paano po?
Kaya nga, malaki. That's why bound naman ako talaga doon sa dekano doon sa sa campus na yun. Kasi talagang they made use before the total lockdown, they made use of all possible to go all possible to deliver, including personal hand delivery.
Carried na
Pero that's not possible for all courses. So what I'm saying about our readiness is some courses will lend themselves towards online education.
Okay.
But nonetheless, taking into consideration the circumstances of faculty and students, I think what the university will be tending towards is flexible learning. No, it's not just the circumstance of our faculty and students, but also the circumstance of our courses themselves.
Can I ask Marlu again? Marlu, in Ateneo, tapos na yung school year?
Well, not yet.
Hindi pa rin. Okay.
School year is going to finish on the 8th of May.
8th of May. Okay. Pero yung online education, na-cut na ba yun, Marlu?
Hindi pa. It's still continuing.
Still ongoing.
Continuing until the 8th of May.
Okay. Ma'am, Ma'am Nenny, kayo po sa UP, hanggang kailan po yung school year ninyo?
Ngayon, as decided by the regents, April 30.
April 30 talaga, kasabay nung yung lockdown, no? Yung last day supposedly. Okay. Sa UST po, kumusta po kayo? Kaya hanggang kailan po yung semester or yung school year, at saka ano yung online intervention po na nangyari? Ma'am Rachel. Hello, Ma'am Cheryl, hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am Cheryl, ayun.
Our school, our second term, yes, our second term will end by May 30.
Okay,
Actually, yun talaga po yung tapos nung semester namin. So, what we did, diretso po yun. So, we started March 10. And then, for a time, we shifted to self-paced. But right now, we are resuming the regular delivery of instruction through Blackboard, which is our learning management system. And this is UST Cloud Campus. No? So we've had the learning management system naman po for quite some time now. We've been with Blackboard for, I think, 17 years already. Okay. And although, of course, there are similar to what the other schools are experiencing, we have a lot of programs with laboratory courses. And I think that is the most challenging to shift to purely online mode. We've been using the learning management system in blended learning approaches. So that's not much of a problem because you'll still see students in the classroom and then you use it for as a supplementary strategy or to provide other materials for students. Yes, but this time we're shifting everything remotely. So similar to what Ma'am Elena was saying, we were also trying to find other alternatives. We no longer limited the deployment to just the use of UST Cloud Campus. So if the students and the faculty will find other ways or other means of communicating with each other, which will make it more effective to communicate with the students, particularly if there's no internet in the area. We highly encourage kahit sa telepono, kung pwede, mag-extend talaga ng extra mile si teacher para mabigyan niya ng instruction ng student. Yes, may mga ganun na lang pong adjustments for now.
Pero kayo mismo nag-lend, did you lend computers or may ganong tulong po doon sa mga estudyante at faculty members?
Wala po talaga kami kasi at the moment medyo mahirap na with the situation of the community quarantine, so it's quite a challenge. Kaya dun sa tracker namin, we deployed health and connectivity tracker for faculty and students. We are able to identify sino yung may mga ganitong concerns, and therefore with that information, our academic units now are able to render the needed parang support and monitoring para later on they can be assisted once the students return to campus. Yun nga lang kasi napaka-uncertain kung kailan yun mangyayari. So, kaya, yes. So, when we were having this very
patatagin yung online preparedness din, no? Magtuloy-tuloy yung pag-discuss natin hanggang kailan. Actually, yun po yung tatanong natin kasi maraming nagtanong, mga parents din, ang concerns nila, paano pa pupuntahin sa eskwelahan pa rin tong mga anak nila kung wala pa talagang vaccine, no? So, kailangan po natin sagutin yan mamaya. Brother, kayo naman po sa Lasal, kumusta po dun sa online instruction?
Okay, when we ended on March 9, the face-to-face, we were already in our 9th week of a 14-week term. So, nakakita kami ng mga 3/4 of our term. So when we continued using the online, the students knows already to what extent they need to finish, what are the materials they need to finish by the end.
Very good.
We understood that there were some who do not have connectivity because some are really in the provinces and the problem.
Paano yun, brother?
Together with some faculty members. There are also some students who are having some psychological, mental stress.
Yes, that's it. Isang factor din.
Concerns that we also had to take into consideration. So we gave students 3 choices. One, finish if you have your connectivity, and so we extended our term by another 2 weeks. So from April 25, end of the term, we moved now to May 8. So they will have finished their term or their required term. There's one now, the ones that have really difficulty in connectivity and those who may have psychological, mental problems.
Concerns, yes.
One, they can stop. They can already say, I will not continue, and they will get a withdraw grade.
Withdraw, not passing grade.
They're passing. They will fail. They will not fail, but they can take the course again. Okay.
Okay.
Or the student can choose to drop the course immediately.
Okay.
Now, there's another group that says, I will defer my grade. So there's another grade that is what we call deferral. So
very much like UP, no?
You cannot continue with the requirements that are supposed to be submitted by May 8th. Then you can continue finishing all of those requirements for 1 year. You're given 1 year to finish all of those requirements so that you can get your grade.
Okay. Yun yung very nuanced na pagbibigay ng grado at saka resulta ng online education. Marlo, you have that also in Ateneo, no? Ang sabi kasi, hindi lang naman pass-fail or pass yung mass promotion yung issue dyan, di ba? If you want a grade, meron ka pa ring dagdag na gagawin. So how's that in Ateneo, Marlo?
Yeah, for us, we thought of giving, in general, a P grade, pass grade. Because we realized that there was, even if you had to give a letter grade, it was a little difficult to make a judgment whether it was an A or a B plus or what, given the amount of work or achievement that the students have done.
But there are other options, di ba?
A P mark. But for graduating students, we opened them to say that they could make a choice. They could make a choice to receive a grade or to have letter grades. So if they wanted letter grades, they cannot choose just one course that they like. They'll have to choose the entire. If it's a letter grade request, the entire set of courses for the term.
That's
But
true.
to follow, they'll have to come up with certain requirements before they could get a letter grade. So that's the kind of thing we have. So, for example, also for those, even if you're non-graduating, if you have a W or which is really
Withdraw, yeah.
one, but which is an F in the transcript of records, we said instead of giving you a W, we will give you a WP.
With permission, yeah.
With permission. So it's not an F on the record, but you can still repeat the course anyway.
Yes.
Incurred incompletes in the first semester and they're unable to finish in the second sem because of this situation, they're given one entire semester to finish it.
Okay. At least it's clear. Ma'am Nenny, yan yata yung point of contention ng mga tao sa UP ngayon. Yung mga students were asking, bakit hindi natuloy yung mass promotion sa UP naman?
Yung mass promotion was a proposal from the students, no? And talagang pinag-isipan yan ng gusto. No? Ang mangyayari naman is something like dun sa Ateneo, especially for graduating students.
Mm-hmm.
In truth, no, even though there was suspension of classes kasi, some classes went on, no, using many platforms, no. And in many instances, these were not class-oriented, no? Kasi yung mga klase pwedeng maliit, pwedeng malaki. And the classes that went on, hindi naman yung pareho as before. Let's say in a class of 25, hindi naman lahat ng 25 nandoon. Pwede yung mga masabi, yung mga meetings ang gano'n nangyari were in, kung hindi one-on-one, baka may baka a little bigger than that. So we realized that in some instances, there was a decision. Nobody forced them, this faculty and students, but they met throughout the lockdown. So during that period, yung mga estudyante, merong mga ginawang, they completed some of their requirements. Now, the adjusted syllabus, students can be given a numeric grade. Pero realizing that hindi naman lahat nangyari yan, kasi nga iba-iba yung circumstances natin, ang pwedeng mangyari would be something like dun sa Ateneo, may parang deferred.
Correct. Tapos merong, kunyari kung gusto mo ng grade, eto, parang pagsisikapan mo pa at may additional requirements.
Wala nang additional. Walang additional requirements. In fact nga, may adjustment ng requirements.
Okay.
Kasi nga hindi natapos yung semestre. Nung nagsimula itong lockdown, we were only on our 7th or 8th meeting. Ako, in my own class, I think we were only on our 7th meeting. No? Weekly kasi yung klase ko. No? So, parang hindi siya talagang, wala pa siya ng 50%. Although, during that period, may mga sinasubmit ng mga requirements, which is something that is something that happened also in other classes. But in other classes, yung mga requirements is really towards the end of the semester.
Totoo rin naman po yun.
Pagdating naman nung panahon ng lockdown, wala pang basihan. So ang pwedeng mangyari is mag-a-adjust ng syllabus, mag-a-adjust ng requirements ang faculty member, and then discussing with the students kung ano ba ang kakayanin.
So, open kayo dun sa pag-uusap ng mga estudyante at saka yung faculty members at pagkikita kung anong klaseng grading system yung i-adopt nila. Okay.
Well, kung ano yung klase na yan, hindi ko pa masasagot ng husto. Kasi may rekomendasyon nga na parang will it be a numeric grade or will it be pass? Kasi what is certain is nobody will fail.
Okay.
Ang pwedeng mangyari is merong may parang yung I forgot the term now, pero yung without basis. Either magbibigyan ka ng grado kung numeric yun or letter grade, or yung talagang no basis, no. So parang ano yun, parang
Deferred.
hindi yung deferred kasi parang walang basihan tapos hindi na lang magpapatuloy. Kung kasi kung ipapatuloy mo yun, deferred grade yan.
Okay. Kasi corollary to having a grade, well, mamaya, daanan rin natin sa USC mamaya, corollary to having a grade, nandun din po yung pagbabalik ng tuition fee. Di ba? Kasi sabi nila, pag may grade ka, yun yung sukatan na natapos mo yung semester, all services are rendered dun sa university. Sa UP po, well, ano naman, halos wala nang babayaran yung
wala kami kasi walang binabayaran ng estudyante. All fees, no?
Okay.
All fees wala naman ibabalik.
Even laboratory, wala na po. Wala. Okay, let's go to UST. Ma'am Cheryl, paano po sa UST po? Yung grades and then the tuition fee.
Yes, for the grades, so similar to the other schools, wala rin po mag-fail this term. Mm-hmm. So that is also in consideration of the various possible situations, no, that our students and faculty members might be in because of the crisis. But what is clear for us is that we would like students who are not ill and whose current situation will allow them to complete requirements this term, the opportunity to complete their courses. Particularly po yung mga graduating students din, no? And even if they're not graduating, but the graduating students particularly, if they wanted to take the licensure examination,
yes,
they may want to really complete all their courses this term in order to qualify for the licensure exam. Or for those without licensure examinations, like we've seen in our survey that quite a number of the students said that their family income has decreased during this particular crisis. No, so we may have students who are graduating who are really interested to help their families by getting a job as soon as they are possible, as soon as they are able. So we wanted to also give them that opportunity. And then for the other students also, whose situations, both physical and mental health, as well as their family situations at home, no, will allow them to continue with the teaching learning activities. We wanted them to complete the courses already so that later on they will not have to think about it anymore. But if in case students attempt to complete the requirements and then they don't meet the standards for the course, because we will give numerical grades. No? So we also prioritize what content to cover, what outcomes to develop, and then we decided, okay, for those outcomes that we cannot really cover this term because of the several limitations and the nature of the courses also, we will offer audit classes for that later. But for now, we will prioritize what we can cover, and then we will allow those who are unable to meet the standards. So let's say they passed the requirements, but they did not meet the standards, so they will not fail. They will receive an in-progress grade.
Okay. How about the tuition fee, ma'am?
In progress.
Well, for the tuition fees, we are now, the Office of the Vice Rector for Finance is currently drafting they're currently looking into the fees and drafting the guidelines. We have discussed that there will be a possible partial refund of lab fees, for example, and other fees which have not been utilized because there has been suspension. So they are still looking into how this can be done and what will be the procedures.
Okay, doon tayo sa pinakamayaman sa atin or pinakamaalam sa pera, si Brother Bernie.
Pag mo
Kumusta
naman
naman po sa Lasal?
pinakamayaman.
Okay, kayo yung pinakamaalam dun sa pera siguro. Kasi sabi mo nga, patapos na yung semester na service rendered na, bale, no?
Ang importante sa amin, kaya pinaglaban talaga ng faculty na tapusin yung term para nga masabi na tinapos namin, we gave the services for this. So that's why they thought really that we will finish the term and we will give numerical grades.
Dapat klaro yan, brother, kasi sinasabi kaya daw nagganyan yung Lasal, ayaw niyo raw magbalik ng pera. So, kailangan i-clarify kasi kahit marami kayong pera, pinaghirapan niyo yung perang yon.
Ay, hindi pa tapos. So, and then, nung the Finance and Accounting Office, pinag-aralan din kung anong natulong na mabibigay namin sa mga estudyante sa kanilang mga pamilya. Kasi alam naman namin na talaga mahirap ang mga panahon ngayon. So,
Naku, mamimigay ng amelioration ang Lasal.
Yesterday, nag-meeting kami ng Finance, nag-decide na kami, may lumabas ngayong tanghali na Brother President na for the second term, may 7% rebate.
Okay.
And we're studying certain fees that were paid na hindi naman nagamit na yan or pwedeng gamitin as credits for the future katulad ng mga library fees. Then pinag-aralan din namin for the third term, we will give a 20% discount sa tuition kasi mag-online.
Ang galing. O yan. Marlo, ikaw na. Sabihin mo na si Marlo magbibigay ng pera. Di ba para siyang mayor. Sa Ateneo, Marlo, kumusta?
Yeah, it was not naman. It was really, we went through a process of discernment.
Yes.
To come up with that. It was a little difficult, and actually we incurred some loss.
Hindi lang sa Marlo, malaki rin yon.
No, that malaki, but because that we could
sacrifice,
the students, and also that's all that we can afford to refund to students for now. And
pero ano yung effect yan in the next semester? So you'll have a tuition cut? Is that what you call it?
We're still working on the budget for next year. I cannot say anything about that. We still have it's privileged information for now because we're still,
yun yung challenge ni Brother Bernie sa kanila.
We're still in the process of discernment, but make sure that whatever it is that we decide will be for the common good, and also because we also give our salaries and benefits have not decreased. We have continued to pay our employees. So the students, I think, recognize that as well.
That's true.
So although we have incurred some loss, we know that over the years, incrementally, we will be able to, but maybe not for now because there are a lot of concerns that students have, even scholarships. We're putting in a lot more money for scholarships because even now the students who are on scholarship are still asking for supplements. So we're also cutting part of the funds that we have this semester for that. It's very important that we help them as well.
It's really belt tightening, but being more sensitive to the needs of like our the different
and also making sure that what you spend for the rest of the semester now will really have to be part of the mission critical.
That's true. So now we go to another issue now na tinatanong sa lahat ng mga schools, graduation. Mauna ka na rin, Marlu. Ateneo yung graduation, wala ngayong SEM, no? Wala ngayong school year.
Wala ngayong school year, but we have three scenarios. One is we're thinking that by around October, we will bring them back for graduation. So that's one. Mm-hmm. One scenario is we're bringing them back in for the following year's graduation of this batch. So there are two small cohorts of K-12 transition batches, so they might be together for that. And the third option is no graduation at all. So, but we hope that we will not get to that. But having said that, in Ateneo, tradition of what we call pabaon.
Yes, yung letters.
Is the ritual for the graduating students. Mm-hmm. It's sad that we don't have that face-to-face, but I think the pabaon team is trying to cook up something which is an online one.
A good ritual. Okay.
I hope that the students will look forward to that.
Let's go to Ma'am Nenny. Ma'am Nenny, paano na po yung sunflower sa UP?
Ay, nakos, baka hindi kami magtanim.
Hindi kayo magtatanim ng sunflowers kasi the sunflowers would usually like usher in the graduation, di ba?
Yeah, o dapat actually natanim na yun ng I think mga kung aabot ng June, I think tinatanim yun mga bandang March, April
Yeah.
Pero wala na ngayon, no? Hindi pa namin actually napapag-usapan kung kailan mangyayari, kung meron man na graduate. What I mean is the ceremony. No?
Okay. But there will be.
Tignan natin.
No, hindi pa rin. Okay lang. Ma'am Cheryl, kayo po sa UST bilang pinakamalaking Catholic University din.
Yes, well, students look forward to the baccalaureate mass and the exit
Pero
through the
paano yung social distancing?
Oo nga. So, well, we haven't really decided on when, largely because it will be dependent on when we'll have the vaccine likely. So, yung isang option kung tinitingnan namin would be, because we extended the in-progress grade until December 2020, so that's one term.
Okay.
So for those who will get in progress, including graduating students who might be in situations that will be difficult for them to complete their courses, I'm hoping that all of them will be captured by the schedule of the graduation. So we're looking at one option, which is at the end of the first term, which is December.
Okay. Malamig na nun.
If situation will allow already.
Good luck.
Because the students, of course, and the parents are looking forward to the graduation rites.
You actually do it for the parents, actually.
Yes.
So, brother, kayo naman po sa Lasal.
Well, our graduation is supposed to be in June. Pero yun nga, hindi pa ito matatapos by June. So it's postponed and we'll have to wait for the developments.
Ganun kasimple, totoo eh. So, we habang wala pang vaccine, mag-a-adjust tayo at mag-a-adjust. Before we pause for a break, because the second segment, in the second segment, we'll have some other reactors, si Faye Martel of UST, Ricky Liboro from LaSalle before, and then Jovi Miroy from Ateneo. They'll be asking us questions also. Let's resolve this. We're not going back to our ways before, no? So, that's step. Brother, kayo po, ano yung, parang for some people na nagsasabi na, hindi, babalik tayo sa normal. It won't be that anymore.
Yeah, I think that is a given. There's going to be what people say now, the new normal. It will not be safe. But really, the literature says that blended learning is the most effective. Online and then face-to-face. So in a real situation, we will be going back to that. But if in the situation that really where we are in, we will continue having online.
Ang ganda ng demeanor, kalma lang si brother. Marlo kayo, so well, you really have like accepted the fact that we're not going back to what we had before, no?
No, I don't think anybody can go back to where it was before.
Ang galing.
Having this kind of experience, will influence the way you'll move. But in relation to academics, online learning is something that we're looking at in a more robust way. So there are plans now. There's a task force for online learning, and this is headed by Father Johnny Go, who is the director of the Science and Art of Learning and Teaching.
Go, Johnny, go.
So we are working on something which is very systematic, and I look forward to that.
Very good. Ma'am Cheryl, sa UST naman po, kumusta po? Tanggap na po ba ng mga tao na hindi na tayo babalik doon sa dati?
Well, yes, we really have to accept that this is the new normal. In fact, the Father Rector, Father Ang, is convening a task force that will, a cross-section of the administrative and academic offices in order to plan further our way forward. Because essentially, our first concern, even if the ECQ is lifted and work resumes in the university, is really health and safety of our people. Anyone who goes back to campus. So it's not just teaching and learning that will change. I think even our processes, our other services will have to change in consideration of putting in place measures to ensure that we have preventive practices really robust preventive practices in place to prevent the spread of infection.
And much of it is dependent on the researches of our neighbors sa UP. Ma'am Neni, kumusta po kayo? Maraming salamat sa lahat ng tulong nyo, even on the national scale.
Yes, yeah. Thank you very much. No? Pero going back to the question about what do we anticipate in the coming semesters?
Yes.
So, at this point, we can't go back to what we were before. But exactly how it will be, yes, it will be flexible, it will be blended. The readiness of our faculty and our students are variable. We have to work towards that one. And we are the national university. We have to move in that direction. And since you asked, since you pointed out that the contributions of the university to this COVID resolution, well, because we are a research and public service university, our contributions have been really large, no? From the technologies, and we're talking about the Gen Amplify, the test kits of Dr. Destura, to the ventilators, the masks, the sanitents, no, and then of course our doctors and nurses who are in the front lines. In terms of public service, we also have those contributions in terms of generating donations for that, and importantly also taking care, of the communities, beginning with our own stranded students, our stranded faculty, our professors emeriti, and the
Xerox copiers, di ba ganyan po yung Xerox?
Yeah, So,
security guards,
we like to think that we are extending ourselves in all areas: medical, scientific, engineering, arts, and the humanities, and then even in businesses, etc.
When we come back, we'll talk about that. Ano po yung mga points natin na pwedeng pagsamahan para pagtulungan, para yun nga, in order to be more prepared and more, responsive to what our society needs at this point. Plus, ma'am, marami na pong nagtatanong. Kunyari, kailan nyo raw po ilalabas yung UPCAT results? Ano daw po yung mangyayaring adjustment sa classroom teaching sa iba't ibang mga schools? Magbabalik po tayo. We'll just pause for a break with some quarantunes sa Radyo Katipunan at saka Inquirer Television. Tapos nun, babalik ko tayo with a panel of reactors. Maraming salamat po.
Una kayang palakasin, wag na wag. Una kayang patagalin, tenanaw. Una gawin mo na. Level up, lumilipad. Level up, hanggang ulan. Level up, tumitingkad. Level up, matutupad. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Bagong taon na lang pareho din ang iyong pinlano.
So many things I can't control. So many hurts that happen every day. So many heartaches that pierce the soul. So much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk the walk about it. You and I, do or die, we've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be
Madilim man ang dinaraanan, may balakid, walang kasiguruhan, puno ng pangamba, parang nag-iisa. Tiwala man mayroong tanong, makakaya pa ba? Gumagaan dahil mayroong kasama, unti-unti nananalig, umaasa. Huwag nang mag-alala, tanaw na ang umaga. Abutin kaniyang kamay, itatawid kanya. Makakarating din tayo sa dulo. Baka bukas, baka pagising mo, kaya may gabi dahil mayroong umaga. Kailangan lang gawin, umapit at umasa. Pagmamahal mo ay ibahagi sa iba, itatawid ka niya. Kailangan lang magtiwala ka, makakarating din tayo sa dulo. Baka bukas, baka pagising mo, kaya may gabi dahil mayroong umaga. Kailangan lang gawin, kumapit at umasa. Pagmamahal mo ay ibahagi sa iba, itatawid ka niya. Kailangan lang magtiwala ka. Unti-unti, dahan-dahan, hindi magtatagal. Dilim nagliliwanag, tuloy lang ang dasal. Makakarating din tayo sa dulo. Baka bukas, baka pagising mo, kaya may gabi dahil mayroong umaga. Kailangan lang gawin, kumapit at umasa. Pagmamahal mo ay ibahagi sa iba, itatawid ka niya. Kailangan lang magtiwala ka.
Paulit-ulit kang nagplano. Paulit-ulit ngunit lagi din naman ang bago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang.
Jovi, are you there?
Hintena na, wag mo na gawin mo na. Lumilipad hanggang ulan, tumitigil.
Okay, we're on our second segment of this level of discussion and education. Kaya sabi nga natin, during the past segment, hindi na tayo talaga babalik sa dati nating nakagawian. So, we have here as our panel of reactors, some people from the different universities who will shoot your questions to our resource person. So, let's start with Mr. Jovi Miroy of the Ateneo. Jovi, hello.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Oh,
Nice seeing you.
I know it was hard getting together all these four schools, but we were able to do it today. So, Joe, can you air your concerns or your questions to our panel?
So I'm wondering if I should ask a philosophical question or a journalistic question.
No, they're open to answer anything.
So maybe a philosophical question just to make things light. What are the questions that you're asking, the admin people are asking moving forward?
Okay, that's a nice question. Let's start with the brother. Brother Bernie, kumusta?
Administration.
Oh. Kasama ka sa administration, brother. Pero as bilang administrador din, ano yung mga tanong mo rin?
Sure. University. learn from the times. How
Kanina. For the people, can you put down all your monitors so that you can hear each other? So let's go back to Brother Bernie. Yeah. For the people, can you put down all your monitors so that you can hear each other? So let's go back to Okay. Medyo kailangan paghinaan natin yung mga monitors natin. Anyway, so that, can we ask, Marlu? Marlu, you there?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear. Rather, I didn't hear what you said. That's why I turned off my video.
But Marlu, what have been your questions that you asked yourself in administration?
First of all, what are we going to do as administrators, given that our target is moving? We don't know what's going to happen. So one of the things that I ask is, how are we going to proceed given a situation where it's very difficult to make certain decisions? You've got to have scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, and you keep on assessing all of these different scenarios.
Sabi no? Endless paninimbang.
Yeah, so paano tayo maninimbang? So one of the biggest challenges that an administrator has, and I always ask that question. There are no
uncertainty, no?
Yes.
Ma'am Nenny, kumusta kayo? Ano yung mga tinatanong niyo bilang administrador sa kasamahan niyo po at sa sarili niyo po? Is Ma'am Nenny there?
It's on mute.
Well, I think we've lost her.
On mute.
I think she needs to unmute herself.
Nakamute si Ma'am Nenny. Ayan, better.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, yes.
I had to unmute myself.
Okay.
Well, unmuting the university, our administrators, is not
We have a lot of followers actually, Ma'am Nenny, here. Shoot na natin din. Ma'am Nenny, kailan nyo raw ilalabas yung UPCAT result?
Yung UPCAT results, alam mo, medyo natigil yan ng konti kasi yung lockdown nga, hindi pa natapos, no? Dapat matatapos na sana. Ang ginawa namin is yung mga sinundo, yung mga itatrabaho ang UPCAT, tapos naka-house sila ngayon sa university para tapusin yan once and for all. Kung kailangan, hindi ako makakasigurado, pero yun ang ginawa namin na sinundo sila para doon na sa university para gawin.
At alam natin yung scenario, sinundo sila para tapusin malamang end of the month para may kasiguraduhan.
Ayoko magsabi.
Yun yung target niyo po?
Yeah, oo pero
yes.
Alam ko may mga targets din dyan doon sa kanilang acceptance sa ibang sa ibang mga university. Pero hindi namin tinatama yung paglabas ng UPCAT doon, no? Ginagawa namin as we can do it.
Bigyan naman natin sila ng choice, di ba? But anyway, Ma'am Cheryl, sa UST kailan nalabas niyo na po yung mga results ng entrance exam niyo, no?
Yes po, January 28 po kami naglalabas ng USTET.
Okay, sige. Papasukin na natin si Faye Martel. Faye is our staunch supporter from UST, who's in USC Radio also. Ito muna, magtatanong lang ako kasi may nagtatanong dito sa thread natin. Ano raw po yung masasabi nyo dun sa meron daw issue ng freedom of expression sa UST din po?
I've seen that post, but we verified. We are in constant communication naman po with our students.
Okay.
And we are confirming that no such show-cause notices have been given if only for their expression of their want to become, of the students request for online classes to be suspended and mass promotion to be implemented. So we were able to confirm that with OSA. But well, of course, these are very challenging times, and we understand that there's a lot of emotions of students being posted on social media. So we were trying to extend as much as possible maximum tolerance,
That's good.
understanding, and well,
And to hear them out, di ba?
yes, we have to. We are in constant communication with our student leaders. There is, we hold regular meetings with the presidents of the various student councils of the different academic units. Usually, once a week po yan. Meron akong actually proposed na meeting with them again tomorrow.
Okay.
Or just so we always keep in touch with them and see how things are coming along. They are able to raise their concerns, and we encourage our students also to channel these concerns to their student leaders, so these can be properly discussed and addressed by the various academic units as well as the university, because we are really open to exploring all possible ways to assist our students and even our faculty.
That's very good. Faye, come in. Hello, Faye.
Yes, kapatid.
Hello, kumusta? Ikaw dapat yung pinapakausap sa mga estudyante kasi you're able to pacify all of them, or like make them vent their grievances, pero papakinggan mo naman sila. Any questions to our panel of administrators?
Okay, this is my question, no? Because everyone's been telling about, we cannot go back to how we were before, no? So definitely our way of teaching will also shift, di ba? Magbabago din talaga yan. And we've been talking about flexible learning and blended learning. My question lang is, of course, we have to consider, kailangan na ba natin i-consider din yung readiness ng mga bata, readiness ng equipment and access? Should it be now a major consideration for future students?
That's nice. That's nice. Brother Bernie, kumusta? Kayo set na yung ganyang di ba? Yung system sa kasal?
Response namin dyan, because there are students who probably may not have access to the internet. We will be providing these pocket Wi-Fis for them, as well as...
Sabi na nga ba, marami kayong pera eh.
So at least they will have access to Wi-Fi.
Okay, at least that. But your faculty is prepared? Infrastructure is prepared?
There are a whole range of preparedness by faculty using this new modality. So that's where we will put in our third term to July, so that the faculty will have more time to improve on their making for the next term.
So brother, hanggang kailan nyo nakikita ito, yung ganitong setup?
Well, we've been hearing that the earliest that the classes will be open for face-to-face will be September. But what others are saying, it might be January of 2021.
Of next year, okay.
I think probably be able to at least have 2 terms until that time, and we will have at least serviced our students and their learning for those.
To be prepared, no? Marlo?
Yeah.
Marlo in Ateneo, kumusta naman? Yung online preparedness.
Yeah. During this time, actually, or even before the lockdown, we already did a survey of students, especially scholars, who didn't have access, even laptops. We were going to lend them Office of Admission Aid, the Rizal Library, the Deans of the Science and Engineering. We were going to give them laptops, to lend them laptops, and also giving them this Wi-Fi stick with a load for an entire month.
Ako, Brother Bernie, mas maraming package na Ateneo.
Not been fully implemented because we couldn't get Grab to deliver, things like that. But for the long term, we have already included that as part of our budget to help those who are in need. So we will do a survey. So that's for the students and even for faculty members. And even during this lockdown, we were giving, reimbursing people, employees, not just faculty members, employees who were doing work from home or faculty who needed to have reimbursements for Wi-Fi connectivity. So we have that system even now. And in terms of faculty members, as I said earlier, we're going to have certificate courses on online learning or flexible mode of delivery. And I think everybody will be on board as far as that's concerned, so that when we have our intercession, which is going to be the normal month for intercession, we hope to be doing either full online or blended learning for that.
Okay, let's talk to the two big universities. Unahin na natin ng UST, kung saan nanggaling si Faye. Ma'am Cheryl, kumusta yung preparedness sa online teaching sa UST?
Yeah, we've always had the trainings for the faculty. We have our core training. This is about 3 days of core training by our Educational Technology Center. It has been made available ever since. And there are modules also available through UST Cloud Campus.
So okay yung sa faculty. Kumusta yung mga estudyante? Ang dami yung estudyante.
Yes, it's a lot. We've seen in our connectivity tracker that there are students who do not have access to electronic equipment from where they are right now. And there are also, although that is a relatively small percentage of the total population, but because we are big, it's still a sizable number of students. So, and then there's internet connectivity as an issue. So these are things that we will have to also discuss moving forward with the committee that the Father Rector will be putting together.
Galing. Anyway, but now, Ma'am Nani, kayo po yung may pinakamalaking problema dahil you're not only talking about UP Diliman, but now UP the whole system. Kumusta po yung preparedness sa online teaching?
Magsimula tayo dun sa mga syllabus, no? Nung nag-review kami ng courses, it was a large review of all our courses, all the syllabi for each of these for our different programs. Ang nangyari na was it more or less lends itself to modular. Kasi so beginning dun sa syllabus namin na iniba na, no, parang standardized, nandun na yung learning outcomes, no, and then modular, it's more, for some it is more modular than others, no, so parang may beginning point na kami ngayon, no, dun sa syllabus. Ngayon yung sa readiness ng faculty, well, ang Open University namin nandiyan. And in fact nga, they're giving courses, no, free online courses, no, that's open to everybody so that universities can prepare online this COVID. Sabi nga ni Chancellor Bandelaria noon, they were ready for mga 200. Pero nagsidagsaan ang registration, no, over 2,000, no. So parang within our system, we have a ready learning resource for faculty who feel that they are not yet qualified, comfortable with teaching online. No, so that's what. In fact, the faculty regent also put out a survey for all faculty that aim to determine that the readiness. And that was yung attitudinal readiness, personal readiness. But of course, we're also talking about the hardware. No, LaSalle, Ateneo, they can afford to give out computers and even the Wi-Fi or the Wi-Fi sticks. No, and thank you very much for telling us these things, because that also prepares us to consider ano pa ba ang mga kakailanganin pa para meron tayong move towards itong online as one of our platforms for delivering learning.
That's true. So at least yun, nasa budget na rin siguro or nasa paghahanap ng mga iba't ibang universities yung online education. Anyway, now we also have Ricky Liboro, who was an alumnus of LaSalle and then went to CRC. Ricky, you've got a question to the panel. I know you've been gathering questions from your friends, and then you can ask them, shoot the questions to them.
Yes, thank you, Noel. Thank you, Dr. Pernia, Brother Bernie, Dr. Peralta, and Dr. Vilches. No? Actually, Noel's correct. I did ask several Viber groups, which are large. I actually narrowed them down to three main questions. If it's okay to ask three questions.
Go. And you can
Okay,
acknowledge those people who sent you those questions too.
Okay. Well, first is we talked about the online and the new normal, which is prior to the break. No, are the plans set? Because I think those are the biggest questions that everybody's been asking me about. The plans. Is this something that will be more transparent about to everybody who's part of each university? And maybe it might be easier if they have FAQs for these common questions. That's first question. Will the plans be laid out to everybody?
Let's make them answer those first. So the plans now. Brother Bernie, nakascade ba yan sa mga tao ng Lasal, sa mga the students and the faculty members?
Well, on Monday, we will be tackling already our plans for the third term. So a lot of these will be taken up. So what will be the type of format or what are some of the things that we will need to do so that we will be able to go effectively using online for our courses. So then we have, after that, we go out, or we make our memoranda or give that information to our students and our different sectors. Then we have an FAQ.
Paano yun, brother, paano yun? Wala, parang this is the way to go already. Parang they have to embrace this reality that things are going online.
Yes.
Ganun.
I gave them all that.
Marlu sa Ateneo.
Yeah, just to answer that question in general, I think all the universities are really planning, and those plans will not just be left as documents. I'm sure the universities are making those plans because they want those plans to be disseminated to the correct audiences. So I feel that there's a lot among students and among parents or any other stakeholders. There's a lot of impatience. I can feel that for your experience, you send out a memo, and then before you even are able to breathe from that memo, there are a few questions. Can you give us all your plans? We cannot realistically give all our plans. So I think that has to be understood by everybody, that a lot of all of us in the university working almost 24/7 to make all our plans feasible. And in the end, we will communicate those plans. So maybe I will make an appeal as well to say, we are very patient with the processes that we go through in our different contexts. So maybe also make an appeal for the others, our audiences, that a little patience, we will get there, because it's very difficult to give the plans for the entire year. You have bits and pieces, otherwise people will be overwhelmed.
That's true. But maganda na lang siguro, we assure them that all the plans are based on consultation, and those plans are really based on, yun nga, parang it's anchored on transparency also, kasi that's something we demand of our national government also. Kaya nga, naghahanap pa rin tayo ng gandong assurance sa ating bayan. So, Ma'am Cheryl, kayo po sa UST, cascaded po ba yan sa mga estudyante at sa mga faculty members?
Yes, for the existing, with the one we released, the institutional continuity plan for the extended and post-CQ until the end of the term, May 30, it has already been cascaded to the faculty and the students, and we have continuing dialogue with various stakeholders, no? So the administrators, the faculty also through our faculty union, and of course through the students, through the Central Board of Presidents and the Central Student Council. Well, we have to accept, I guess we really have to accept that at present, no plan is perfect. We really have to continuously evaluate implementation, improve on it as we move on. And it is important that there is really this constant communication between and among all stakeholders so that we are able to address concerns as we move along and improve upon them. As for the following school year, even for the special term, we are still in the process of finalizing the plans. We have to discuss it again with our academic unit heads, taking into consideration the unique needs of each of our academic units. We hope to cascade those plans in terms of consulting our students and the faculty as well once the academic unit heads have laid down the needs that will have to be considered with succeeding plans.
Thank you, Ma'am Cheryl. Now, we'll end that question with Ma'am Neni. Ma'am Neni here, I have to read lang kasi meron, bago pa man tayo na on air, you know, there was this parang manifesto, a statement from the students, no, saying the decision was a travesty of the Board of Regents as the highest decision-making body, failed to actively listen and to show complete compassion to its own constituents and resounding clamor to adopt the most humane and fair actions to protect the university. Ngayon, ang hirap-hirap lang po sa UP kasi napakalaki at iba't iba po yung interest ng mga groups. So how are you able to cascade those plans and those policies po doon sa nasasakupan niyo, ma'am?
Tama ka doon kasi malawak kami, maraming mga stakeholders, no. Yung mga iba't ibang posisyon naman ng mga yon ay pinapakinggan namin, no. Kaya nga napaka-complicated ang paggagawa ng plano ng mga polisiya. Ngayon, as we are talking, in fact, merong mga meetings sa department level at sa college levels, no. I am supposing they're talking not only about the current situation, pero how it will be in the coming terms, in the coming semester. No, so as with the other schools, no, we follow our process of developing these plans. We listen, no, kasi talagang listening naman kami, no. Marami kami pinapakinggan. No?
Lahat pinapakinggan niyo.
Pinapakinggan, no? Including developments in the country, sa government, and what is also happening in the larger higher education institutions, no? Kasi we have to be together in this one. Our UP is not UP if it were not for its relationship with Ateneo, LaSalle, UST, and and other universities.
Ma'am, pero paano po ito, ma'am? How do you intend to cascade these policies with a lot of dissent from your community, ma'am?
Built-in naman sa amin yan, yung cascading. Built-in yan. Kasi from department to system and system to department, we have that built in. We have our structures, no? Again, from the smallest unit, which is the department, no, and then the faculty, which is made up of the faculty and the chair, the college, which is comprised of the dean with his college executive board, and then there is the CU's executive council, which is made up of the chancellor, his vice chancellors, as well as the deans of the colleges. So. And then higher than that, there is the President's Advisory Council, which is comprised of the various chancellors and the system officials. So we have that structure. And built in that structure are also the listening and discussing mechanisms.
Okay.
So you talk about developing a plan which takes into account the positions of the stakeholders. We have that. You talk about a plan that will be communicated in a transparent manner. We also have that.
Okay. So, well, Ricky, go. Shoot the second question.
Okay, this one might throw off a little bit, but kasi a lot of questions were, is this all about college and the college level? But most of the colleges we're talking to and universities we're talking to also have high school and maybe grade school too, I don't know. So the biggest question they had is what are the expectations for parents to supervise all these online new normal activities that are going to go on going forward, because you have the likes of working parents who are putting their kids to school working to put their kids to school. So when they, the discipline in managing, they got to go to work, they got to prepare for food, and at the same time they have to supervise their children while they're doing their online class, either it be Zoom or whatever. So I guess the question is, what are the expectations in that sense to manage or to fill in that gap where it's not going to be fully like how it was in the previous normal to the current normal that it may be in the future. So how does to meet the expectations of the parents who are working, Because that's the biggest challenge. That's why that's their question.
So, but we've resolved, I think, Marlu, that we won't go to face-to-face or the usual classroom teaching until a certain time. No, at least we've agreed, brother Bernie, hanggang first sem, no, October or September this year. Is that right?
Yes.
So, how do we do that? Paano raw matutulungan yung mga households, yung mga magulang doon sa takot nila, yung agam-agam nila na tipong paano yung mga anak namin ihanda dito sa bagong normal, dito sa online education. Go, brother.
We really need to give the scenario to the parent and have an orientation with them and have close partnership with the family so that this type of education is going to be effective. There may need to be adjustments in the working schedule of the parents, and we may make adjustments in terms of the requirements also for the students, depending on the time that they are available. So there will need to be constant communication, but an orientation for the parents regarding this type of teaching will have to take place as a first step.
Pero parang ngayon, parang wala pang mga PTA meetings kasi yun nga, parang I think the universities are still fixing themselves, their policies, and then the consultations with the different sectors. Marlo, kumusta sa Ateneo?
I think, it's important to inform parents. In Ateneo kasi, there are education has the PTA, but as well we have the Ateneo Schools Parents Council where we're working with them closely. So one of the things that we'd like to do once these plans are set, are already like refreshed a little bit, is to inform the parents, and they can also understand. We can understand what their concerns are and how we can work well together in relation to this new mode of learning and teaching.
That's true. Yes, Miss Cheryl of UST, are you able to meet the parents already? Meet the parents.
Yes, we've learned from the principals of our junior high school, education high school, and our senior high school that parents are actually communicating with them regarding their concerns. So there are avenues by which parents are able to communicate with the academic heads or the academic unit officials for their concerns. So, well, primarily for most that I've heard, it's really, since we have not really cascaded the university's plans for the succeeding terms because we are allowing time for our students and faculty to complete this term or to settle down in terms of requirements. So we have not yet cascaded for the succeeding terms. And so parents are asking whether we will resume in-campus classes and so on. So because they are concerned about safety of the and health and safety of their children. So we understand that. And that's why this will all be taken into consideration when we finalize the plans for the succeeding terms. As mentioned by the other universities, we are also looking at maximizing opportunities to at least do maybe partially online and partially face-to-face classes, and only for those, only when quarantine relations will allow, and also while serving the necessary precautions inside campus. So in terms of the responsibilities of the parents on how they can help their children, more importantly, maybe more than the academics, because these are high school students, senior and junior high school. I think more than the academics, they need the moral support at the moment. They need to feel that their family are there with them when they go through these changes, the adjustments. And so very important at the moment that the parents are there, the family are there to help the students cope, no? Because the academics, I think they can deal with that for as long as they know that someone is there to listen to them, that they are really loved, and that, I think children nowadays, they really need that assurance.
That's true. Ma'am Nenny, alam naman natin that even parents have to retool. They're the first ones to say that technologically challenged din sila and they're learning from this whole activity. Ma'am Nenny, paano po sa UP?
if you're talking about our basic education, no, that would be under our College of Education.
Yeah.
I confess I'm not too familiar with what the initiatives that they have begun on that one. But I do know that you are right. Yung parents will have to have some kind of hand-holding if even our basic education is going to move into these blended and flexible platforms.
That's true. Let's go to Jovi again. Jovi, shoot na your non-philosophical question. Hello, Jobs?
Nakamute.
Nakamute ka, Jobs. Okay, let's go to the lady, Faye. Faye of UST.
Yes, kapatid, yes.
All right.
Shoot your...
For Doc Marlo,
sandali. Ayan.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Nakamute ka, Jobs.
Wait.
For beauty now.
lady, Faye of UST.
Okay. Sandali lang. Age before beauty daw muna. Go, Jovi. Nako, Jobs. Alisin mo yung monitoring mo muna. Alam na natin yung salarin. Ang salarin si Jovi.
Ako na.
Okay, Jobs. Shoot your question.
All right. So for Doc Marlo, tinatanong kung what are the plans for faculty? What are the plans for faculty?
Ayan, Marlo. Plans
What
nyo
do you
ng para
mean?
na Jovi.
That's a very large question.
Very large question, Jovi.
For faculty, for
For the welfare of the faculty, that's from the president of the Faculty Association. And then maybe for a bigger question will be, someone is also asking, one of the parents, are you in touch with the chairman of higher education?
Okay.
Those are my non-philosophical questions.
Okay.
So first of all, for the welfare of the faculty, that's not something that we have taken for granted, even during this time of lockdown. Faculty and all employees of the university have continued to receive benefits and salaries. But at the same time, in terms of the online learning or flexible blended learning, as I said earlier, we're going to have courses that will
Support.
allow the members to be on board in terms of that. The other question about am I in touch?
Are you all in touch with the CHED? With higher education? Hindi lang siguro sa Ateneo, kundi sa lahat ng mga universities dito. I know they have autonomy, no?
Yeah, but CHED actually has sent out questionnaires. So being in touch with CHED is what that means. We have sent out answers to those questionnaires, and then we also send the memos to CHED. At that time, when we said we're going to shorten the semester, I wrote a letter to the CHED commissioner, to the of the commission. I wrote to him and I said to him I promised to send the memo that was going to come after that. So that in terms of that, that's what's happening. And CHED continues to send us directives as well. But it's not a personal thing, it's more CHED and an institution.
Correct. So, Faye, kumusta kapatid? Go, shoot your question.
Okay, ang question ko lang ay, this is for everyone, and this I'm asking as a faculty. Tuloy naman po yung next term, po? So, so tuloy naman po ba siya? Yun lang naman ang gusto ko talagang malaman.
Sagutin muna ni Ma'am Cheryl. Ma'am Cheryl, tuloy naman yung next term.
Yes po, tuloy ang buhay. So,
tuloy ang buhay. Ibig lang sabihin, tuloy din yung sweldo ng mga teachers in fall.
Opo, tuloy-tuloy naman po yung salaries and benefits in UST.
Kahit online.
Yes, even if it's online. So that is also one thing that we're explaining to the students and to the faculty also. No? So this is our support also for the faculty at this time. And in fairness to the faculty, they are also doing their job naman po. No? So they continue to teach even with the challenges that come with transitioning to a fully online platform. Now, in terms of continuing, yes, as I mentioned, we are already planning first for the special term offerings. No? So the special term is our summer, but it's no longer summer because it's June, July. So there are, as in the advisory, yes, in the latest advisory of CHED, they said that those with regular course offerings in the summer may offer courses. No? So this is one thing that we're preparing for first.
Ma'am, paano po yung tuition fee ng first sem? Is it the same or alam nyong mas maliit na yung tuition fee ng ng next sem kasi nga online?
We have not discussed that yet because one of the considerations is not all the courses can be transitioned online. Like lab courses will definitely have to have a face-to-face component.
Yes.
And I would recommend there are even lecture courses with outcomes that will need to be delivered in a face-to-face manner. So we have not discussed yet the issue of tuition fees for the coming sem.
Okay. Brother Bernie, tuloy na tuloy yung next term ang tawag doon sa Lasal, di ba?
Yes, we just pushed it back. Normally, we start in the third week of May, but we push it back to July. And professors continue to get paid. In fact, we released earlier the 13th month to help them during this time. And some the teachers who deserve their longevity pay, we also pay just to help them. But the good thing here is that even the faculty, we asked for donations for our helpers, those that are no pay, no work employees or personnel. Many of them have donated through salary deductions to help those people in our community that are more in need of financial help.
That's such a good example. Marlo, kumusta sa Ateneo?
Yes, I think we're going to have our intersection term. I cannot say right now when that would be because that's still part of the discussion. And a memo will come out of my office to outline what the next steps will be.
Okay. Yan na. Ma'am Nenny, kayo po. Tuloy, of course, tuloy naman yung sa UP, pero paano po yung adjustment sa semester?
Walang adjustment pa sa semester kasi August naman ang simula namin eh.
Okay.
So matutuloy yun.
Okay. Ang sweldo ng faculty, the same?
The same. Tuloy-tuloy naman eh. We are, ang sweldo naman namin, we're government employees. So, ang sweldo namin nanggagaling nga dun sa budget. Ang mga lecturers namin, maski sila na hindi nagtuturo itong nakaraang semestre, nababayaran naman sila. No? So
bilang kawani ng gobyerno, di ba meron kayong mga dagdag na mga allowances ngayon?
Oo, nabigyan nga kami. In fact na
buti pa sila talaga nabigyan. Okay.
Pero pinag-usapan pa rin namin yun nung bago pa lang nagsisimula itong institute. No, so parang ano ang mabibigay ngayon na. Diba? So parang yun din, no? Inasikaso, iniintindi din naman namin ang lahat ng yung aming mga ang aming mga kawani, no, faculty, admin, pati nga sa mga estudyante pagdating doon sa pagkukuha ng mga donasyon para sa kanila. We put in place some coping mechanisms, no, which took care of their personal needs, including their psychosocial problems. No, so as a university, we try to look into the holistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's shoot the last question. Ricky. Hello. Rick. Yeah. Is Ricky naka-mute din daw si Ricky? Ricky. Well, anyway. While we're waiting for Ricky, no, what can be the spaces for all of us to work? Ayan.
I got it.
Ricky, go. Shoot the last question.
Okay.
Go.
Actually, it was touched on earlier, but maybe I'll just ask it again. You did talk about tuition already, which is good. But I got like mga litanya na mga iba, no? Kasi, of course, the economy is tight and a lot of them own small businesses. And I guess ang question nila is, pwede bang babaan ng tuition? That's one of the questions for since a lot of the services and facilities of the schools that are not going to be on campus are going to be online. The biggest question is if they're going to lower tuition.
Okay. Hindi problema ni Ma'am Nenny yun kasi sa UP, walang binabayad. Wala nang binabayad ng tuition fee, no ma'am?
Yes, wala.
Are we correct? So, let's go UST. May pagbababa ba ng tuition fee sa tingin niya sa susunod na term?
I don't have answers for that right now po eh. Pinag-aaralan pa po nung Vice Rector for Finance, the Office of the Vice Rector for Finance. So maybe we will release advisories once they've done the guidelines.
Ma'am Marlu, kumusta po sa Ateneo?
That's under discussion, so I cannot say anything much for now.
Okay.
But definitely, we're going to announce
An adjustment.
the decision. Okay.
Actually, Brother Bernie, meron ng rebate agad.
Yeah, rebate and then a 20% discount for next term.
That's true. Now, we talk about our bigger community, which is the nation, no? At this point. We've talked about handling our schools. But then, Brother Bernie, for example, now, what is LaSalle's contribution to the bigger structure, to the bigger society? Ano at saan sa tingin mo pwedeng magkasama-sama itong apat na universities sa paghanap pa ng solusyon or probably a way to ease the burdens of our people at this time?
So universities are also supposed to be centers for research. So I think a lot of our research people can do a lot of studies regarding how we can improve the situation where we are in, that probably how can we cope if there's a crisis like this that happens, how can we prevent such crisis, how can we mitigate the crisis situation. So I think that the research people can do a lot to contribute. So that's one. The De La Salle University and the other La Salle schools, we have opened our campuses to the homeless. Right now, we're welcoming some of the PGH health workers. Our hospital in Las Marinas is now a center also for COVID testing. Are asking for donations to help the health workers and all of those people that are in need. We are developing also a ventilator. We're also
very good.
Preparation of masks and PPE attire, so that will help our health workers. But I think very important is that we really, as universities, have a big role in educating our public and helping our nation move because of the capabilities that we have.
Thank you, brother, also for all the efforts you are giving to the homeless. Well, Jovi saying that, and then you've started that effort. You're supporting that effort. Marlo, kumusta sa Ateneo? Well, I know you've opened the university to health workers.
Yeah.
Just recently.
Actually, there are lots of people doing research, the sciences, which research which is related to COVID-19.
Yeah.
And there are those that we have the Ateneo Disaster Response and Management Team, headed by the Vice President for Social Development. And they're doing a lot of work in terms of giving support to the communities, food packs and all the rest of it. And then a lot of contributions coming in as well to the Dream Team. Also, right now, we opened what we call the Panunuluyan Project for health workers from Quirino Hospital. So they're housed now within the university. We have been helping with the making of PPEs, even the Jesuits in their own
very good
territories, including former President Father Nebres and all the rest of them. They were
ingatan yung mga senior citizen, Mario.
Work on the PPEs, and we're also in coordination with our medical school, our Ateneo Medical School, Medical and Public Health School. So they're also doing a lot there in terms of COVID-19. We're coming out with a call for proposals that of projects that are COVID-19 related, and so we have earmarked some sizable amount for that for researchers as well.
Ma'am Cheryl, sa UST po, since meron din kayong ospital, kumusta po yung participation ng university dun sa pagkakaroon niya ng isang ospital?
Yes, of course, we have our health programs and our engineering programs are very active right now. So for our engineering programs, they're involved in the 3D printing of face shields. And then distributing this to various hospitals all over the country. For our health programs, we have telemedicine services, telerehabilitation services, and even our Tomasha mental health volunteers have offered their services online. And then there are, of course, spiritual services being done by the Santissimo Rosario Parish of the university. And, of course, other, like we house our healthcare frontliners inside the dormitories of the university, so that it will also help ease their burden of having to travel far from the hospital. And of course, there are also initiatives by alumni and partner industries in terms of helping our partner communities cope with this crisis.
Ganyan talaga. Ma'am Nenny, kayo po, since meron din pa kayong direct contact sa mga nagdidesisyon, your husband's part of NEDA, the head of NEDA. Ma'am, what are the next steps in cooperation with the University of the Philippines, with the society, with our country? Ma'am Nenny, you there?
Maybe you should unmute yourself.
Yeah, I unmuted. Again, I'm sorry.
Ma'am
Yeah.
Nenny yan. Sorry, multitasking talaga.
Unmuting.
Ma'am Nenny na nga. Parang kayo yata yung may pinakamalapit na connection since your husband is the chair of NEDA. But kumusta po yung pagtutulungan ng university at yung kalakaran natin dito sa Pilipinas? At saka ano pa pong tulong yung pwede nating maibigay?
Marami no? Pero marami yan. In fact, ang ginagawa, kung para sa COVID lamang, pwede ko kitang bigyan ng 17-page report as of April 6, no? Pero hindi ko napupuntahan yan, no? This is
sa tingin nyo, ma'am, may question ako. Sa tingin nyo, may mga tao sa university na pwedeng tulungan yung DOH? Kasi may mga senador tayong nagpo-propose na mga tanggal si DOH Secretary Duque.
No, hindi namin papasukan yung political.
Okay.
No? Ang papasukan namin is yung mga technical. Pero ang gusto ko rin idagdag is, ang UP, nagko-collaborate kami with other universities. For example, merong project CIBOL Now we are doing with De La Salle. CIBOL eto, hinahanap ko ang kanyang ibig sabihin, pero it has to do with surgical.
So iba naman yan kay Mr. Pagsy ng CIBOL.
Iba yun. Hindi siya yung CIBOL ng Ateneo, pero ito, Surgical Innovations on Biotechnology Laboratory. This is a collaboration with La Salle and the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and Manila. And it is funded, I believe, by the DOST. With Ateneo, we have long been collaborating, in various aspects, including our economic program. Yata, I think there is a relationship right there with UST. Similarly, So what I can say is that the contributions of the University of the Philippines are contributions also with other universities. No, parang kasi together, we uplift each other, we draw on the expertise of each other, and we learn from one another.
That's very good, ma'am. Well, the function of universities, aside from taking care of its students, faculty, and staff, is to make education relevant. And we see that in the way you're adapting to the times. No? Now, more than ever, we see the universities playing a vital role in making policies not only in your own campuses, but in the bigger scheme of things sa nation. Ang layunin natin, lutasin yung problema ng tao, lipunan, at mundo. Ngayon, higit kailanman, kailangan nating hanapin yung relevance at kaugnayan ng ating disiplina sa karunungan sa buhay ng mga tao. Yan yung hamon ng mga universities. May we get your last words, Marilu, first, siguro probably your last words in trying to like assure our students that we're doing everything to make our education relevant and adapting to the times, and then answering to the needs not only of our constituents but of the nation.
Yeah, it's our commitment to the students that we will do everything that we can to make that Ateneo education, because that's one of the questions of the parents.
That's true.
Ateneo liberal arts education going to go in this online thing when sometimes online interaction can be quite cold, and so where's the quota personalis? We are going to assure you that we will deliver our Ateneo education in a manner might be different from what it used to be, but we're exploring also connections with other Jesuit universities abroad. So that's one of the things that we can tell them about.
Thank you, Marilu. Ma'am Cheryl, your parting words to your constituents, UST, and all the other students, like depending on educators for hope at this point.
Yes. So we assure our students, their parents, the faculty, and all the stakeholders that the University of Santo Tomas remains steadfast in its commitment to deliver affordable quality education for the public and to contribute to society, in our own way. So these are very different times. We all have to do our part. We try to find our own little way of contributing, and hopefully together we will be able to make it.
And we only have each other to like support and help. Ma'am Neni, maraming salamat. Your parting words po sa inyong community at sa komunidad sa labas pa rin ng University of the Philippines.
Well, okay, my parting words actually reflect the sentiments of our university officials to reassure our students. No? The University of the Philippines will endeavor to adopt alternative modes of instruction, requirements, and assessment methods that are consistent with its mandate as the national university that is committed to honor and excellence, and that equally takes into account the extreme conditions that we, the students, the staff, and the faculty are all confronting.
We all feel that now. Maraming salamat po, ma'am. I requested Brother Bernie to end this session with the prayer. Brother Ernie, before you say this prayer, your parting message to our listeners and our viewers.
Very important, at least because we are a nation that believes a God that loves us. That's very, very important, that no matter what's happening, we will be able to overcome this with this deep faith. Second is that the university is really supposed to be a university. Universities are supposed to be for serving, not only for the formation of our students so they will be successful in their careers, but the formation of students so that they will be able to help our world in need of a lot of help because of the many problems that we are facing. And lastly, we are really one here. If COVID has taught us anything, we are all in this one world together, and only together will we be able to overcome this.
Thank you, Father. Can we end this session with a prayer led by you? Thank you.
Let us remember that we are in the most holy presence of God, a God that's always with us and continuously loves us. Loving Father, we as a nation draw us near to you in fervent prayer for all those affected by COVID-19. In faith, we lift up to you our fears and anxieties and the sufferings of those who have been infected, always remembering that even in our darkest hours, we are in your most holy presence. In service, we beg you for strength and wisdom to do all the needs to be done, knowing that we can be channels of your healing grace when we do all our actions for the love of you. In communion, we stand in solidarity with all the frontliners who risk their lives for others, and pray for all medical teams and support personnel who earnestly seek its cure and provide remedy and comfort to those who are sick and most vulnerable. Most loving Father, we entrust our lives and the health and well-being of our families and communities to your care and protection, for with you we will be safe and secure. Amen.
Amen.
Maraming salamat, Brother Bernie. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Nenny Pernia, Dr. Cheryl Peralta, and Dr. Marlu Vilches. Thank you, Jovi Miroy, Faye Martel, and Ricky Liboro. Thank you also to those people who helped us, Wendell Capili, Ron, and then Leloy Claudio. Thank you for bringing this group together. Yun po, sa hulit-huli, sabi nga natin, ang layunin natin, lutasin ang problema ng tao, ang lipunan at ang mundo, at magagawa lang natin yan kung sama-sama tayo. Maraming salamat dito sa hapong ito. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Salamat.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Salamat po sa
This is not the last time we're going to meet.
Campus Radio at Inquirer 990 Television. Bayang nagtatanong, mamamayang nag-uusisa, sama-sama po tayong mag-level up palagi. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Bye.
Thank you po.
Bye.
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 Thank you, brother.
Pagyumanan, dumaan, sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin. Lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na din. Go na go na go na go na go na go lang go lang ng go. Go na go na go na go na go na go lang go lang ng go. Level up, lumilipad. Level up, hanggang ulap. Level up, tumitingkad. Level up, matutupad. Go na go na go na go lang go.
Di kailanman mapipigil pagbuhos ng ulan. Ang buhay sadyang ganyan.
At kaya ng papago-bagong pag-ihip ng hangin. Lahat ay lilipas at magsasalita.
Huwag kang mabahala, huwag mataranta. Hindi kailangan ang mag-alilangan pa.
Isipin mo laging nandito lamang ang aking balikat. Sa'yo'y nakaabang.
Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang. Mapupuntahan, pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan. Sang tawag mo
At tuwing nagdidilim ang langit, di ba't nagpapakita ang buwan hanggang mag-umaga na naman.
Tara't hintayin na natin magsikat ng iyong araw hanggang sa magliwanag muli ang lahat. Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang. Mapupuntahan, pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan. Sa tawag mo, asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang. Mapupuntahan, pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan. Sa tawag mo Isang tawag mula
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of W Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpaan.